I made a fake one.
We are gonna keep talking about this subject until we find out. And what is that? What are we talking about? We are asking, what is this next season going to be adapted into? Are we gonna get a Q Ranger, a Kira Major, or could we get an all new original show with suits, original story, everything new? Villains, allies, and I'm thinking it might be something new. Now, a couple days ago, we showed you guys a clip from our buddy Joe over at the Illuminati was interviewing Jordan Fight and Kai Moya, the Gold and Blue Ranger guys, and he asked them if they are going to adapt the season or should the fans expect something new. Are we going to adapt a Sentai or is it something new? And both of them said, I would think it's going to be something new, something you've never seen before. Now, I gotta shout out the homie Este because he put together a video kind of like I did, but he had some really good facts in here, and something that kind of just stood out to me was he showed a little post from the Power Rangers action team, and they said this: the new season has finally been announced for second unit. This is tough, excited season with new challenges ahead. Woo! By the way, I wish I could post more on Power Rangers Action Unit. Apologize to all the Ranger fans. Unfortunately, we have very little footage from past seasons. Man, this is crazy. I cannot wait to see what's going on. So the action team posted, a month or two ago saying that they're going to start in August. Now, we know that we are in a whole new studio in New Zealand. I heard that it's the same studio that they shot Ninja Storm in years ago, back in 02, 03. Now, the thing that I'm thinking is that this is going to be a bigger set. Is Netflix throwing in some money? What is going on with this? Is this going to be a bigger project? And then how many episodes could we get out of this? We're talking 16 to 20 episodes. And the other thing that has me really thinking is these guys are working extra hard, right? Why are they working extra hard? What are the new challenges? The challenges probably are, the new ones are, they're working on a bunch of extra action scenes. They're trying to give you more action. And to tell you the truth, they've probably been able to use a lot of Sentai through the years, but in Dino Fury, they did a lot of original stuff. Now, it's going to be 100% reliant on that. So these action teams are really going to have to do their thing, and I believe they will. I'm excited to see this new challenge ahead for Power Rangers, and I love that they chose the Dino Fury cast. They're from a Sentai adapted season. They're fan favorites. Everyone is familiar with these Rangers, and they kind of resemble some of the things of past Rangers and why we liked them, but they have their own mix. They're their own people, and I love it. I love all of the characters. I think all of them are developing the way you want them to. The character backstories are really cool. I love that you got to see most of the Power Rangers parents in this. That's super fun. I remember for years, like in the old seasons, you would never really see much of a parent unless it was like someone that their dad ran the whole thing, kind of like the Hartford Foundation, all that kind of stuff with Operation Overdrive. But it's fun what they're doing with these characters, and I think that showing the signs of what they're doing with Dino Fury, it gives me a good feeling that they could do more of that, and it's going to be a success. This is going to be the first official Netflix season that's like a new season for Netflix, that it's its own thing. Technically, Dino Fury came out in on Nickelodeon back, a year or two ago, and they ran the first season, And then season 2 was like a Netflix exclusive, but yet we saw it international spoilers all around the world on actual channels that weren't on Netflix. So like, I'm hoping that this next season, because it is kind of its own thing, that it's not going to be pushed out right away before we get it on Netflix. I think the international spoilers don't ruin it as much as you think, but this fan base is strong, and I'm telling you that some of the fans, if they get the episodes, you know, a few weeks before, a month before, and they watch it 3 times, there's a chance they might not watch it as much or at all on Netflix. Some people aren't going to pay for it if I've already watched it. Some people are kind of set on what their bills are right now, and everyone is picking and deciding when it comes to streaming platforms. I know at one point, between the wife and I, we had them all. We had Paramount, we had HBO, we had Disney and Netflix. Now we're just down to Disney and Netflix. That's what we kind of made the decision. You know, with the kids, we have a 13-year-old and a 3-year-old, and Disney Plus is definitely good for the kids. Netflix still has a bunch of stuff because they're forced to compete. They're putting out a bunch of good content. And even though Disney is the #1 streaming service right now, Netflix still has hundreds of millions of subscribers, and they're still doing good. Now, take this with a grain of salt. You gotta kind of, right now for the next couple of years, Netflix is still a good place to be. But if they keep kind of dropping, and now like in a couple years they're the 3rd or 4th streaming platform, that's when you start to kind of think about taking your talent somewhere else. But as of right now, I like where we're at with it. I like that it's with Netflix. I like that we're switching it up. We are gonna have something more original, and I know some of the fans are scared, man. You're always scared of what you don't know and what what you can't really predict. And with this season, like, some people did predict Dino Fury season 3. That was talk. But there was like 3-4 different ideas of things that could have happened. This was one door that was open. It's awesome. Even the cast members at Power Morphicon, they were asked about it. And they said when they filmed the season finale for season 2, they, like, when it was all said and done, they were told, hey, this could be a thing. We'll get back to you in 8 to 9 months. So if it was a for real thing, they would have put it together then. They were still probably thinking about all of the ideas and what they were going to do, because there's an argument to be said that if there was no pandemic, that this year, 2023, was when they were going to push out the Entwistle project. I think they're pushing it back. They're getting it right, and I'm not mad about, guys. I think that it's perfect. I think that this season could be really fun for the fans and say, hey, watch me, I got this. It's almost like your all-star player is getting a little old, but you have a really good replacement coming under them that knows that they are the future, and you are still awesome, but we got to move on in this direction. And I think for right now, guys, the original direction, this new wave, and I keep saying new because everything that they're doing is not what we expect from Power Rangers. It is different. But the more that I'm looking at it, one, it's way more business savvy. When it comes to the X's and O's and the dollar signs, Hasbro knows how to make money with Power Rangers. They've already said in the investor call that Power Rangers is up. We're making money. So they sustain the brand. They made sure that Power Rangers isn't going nowhere. Now what is the next step? It's to really engage with the fans, see what we want, and give us that, but also give us a really good show for anybody else that is watching it. And that's what I think Power Rangers and Hasbro is doing. I love all these different polls, all these different things. They really get into the fans' head and see what they want. And I know the fans complain all the time on certain in the chats when they do a Fan First Friday or a Fan First event, Hasbro PulseCon, whatever. But the fact that these guys are doing this is really cool. I don't remember Saban doing anything like this and it being consistent. Now, there was a time a couple months ago when it was dry, and there's a reason for that now because it led up to all of this big news. So when when the bomb really dropped, it was loud. There was a lot of information and a lot of things. I felt like for a full month, I was getting nothing but Power Ranger information, meaning I'm making nothing but Power Ranger videos. It's really been a fun time to be a fan. And I think that Hasbro has this brand in a good place. They definitely kept this brand from falling any more than it has. They put it in the right position, and not just on Nickelodeon at 7 in the damn morning. Like, that was the thing that I hated about it, was Netflix actually cares. Right now, you have a brand with Netflix. They need to go all in on these big brands, and they want to still compete. They want to be number one. They're number two right now, but they're trying to get back in the game. They're going to invest their time and energy right now into Power Rangers, and we know that Hasbro is invested in Power Rangers. There's no way you're going to buy this brand for how much they did and not at least try to do your own original thing that you guys call the shots for. And honestly, I think it was a smart move almost. They got lucky because the pandemic kind of set things back a little bit. But they got an awesome Cosmic Fury, Dino Fury Season 3 project coming. Something that's new for the fans to show, hey, we can go in an original way and it be good. And that gives us more time for this Jonathan Entwistle project to be actually good. And something for not only the fans, but everybody else out there. Like, this is one of those things that for Power Rangers, it's always been like after the Big Bang and when it was huge, once the Disney seasons came, it was kind of like one of those shows that you watch, but you know not everybody else is watching this show. I have always had buddies that would watch it with me, but it would always be, a couple kids after the initial point. Once your Ninja Storms, and after that Wild Force. There's a couple, I had friends that were watching it, but not as much as we were when Mighty Morphin. I felt like every single kid was, okay? My point being that Power Rangers is a brand that we all love, but nobody really watches it like that no more except for the fans. And the fans, you and I, everybody out there talking about it, buying the merch, pre-ordering the Lightning Collection figures, we are keeping the brand alive. Like, there one point it was on life support, but still the fans were still spending money on it. So you can't technically just shelve this brand right now. There is still millions and millions to be made. But we need to take a turn and turn this into something that everybody else could enjoy too. You never want to be too exclusive that you're cutting off everybody else. And it's not like Power Rangers has done that. It's just for years it's been a kids show, and for years we've needed to have something else to go along with it, or the writing to be better. And the last few years when Hasbro took it over, the writing is good, the stories are good, the characters are great. I love the villains. I love the comedy aspect. And I know comedy can always be better with Power Rangers, but the fact that they're not always forcing it with the fart jokes, when two characters come in, there's going to be a comedy scene or a skit or something crazy happening. That doesn't always happen. The last few seasons with Ben and Betty and Beast Morphers and Jane and Jayborg, both of those characters played roles where they weren't always so funny, where things did get a little crazy and they either had to help or they added to the situation. So that's what I appreciate about Power Rangers and why I think that this original idea, these new concepts that's created from the full team and with Simon Bennett around, I think it could be awesome. Shout out everybody putting on for Power Rangers. We're talking from Hasbro all the way down to producers to the cast. Simon Bennett and the crew, y'all have done an amazing job. Shout out the action team and shout out the fans out there, man. Y'all guys really keep it real. You tell it like it is. And this is a really good fan base. I can't lie. There are times when we have some toxic fans, but it's nothing like other fandoms right now anyways. Things could always devolve or evolve, if you want to say that, and get worse. But right now, we have a really good fan base that supports this show. What are your thoughts? Do you think that we could go all original this season? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of the comments, let's see what the fans are saying. Brian said, questions. Could it be possible to adapt the Orange Ranger for the first time ever? 2. Would it be possible to generate a core team like red, blue, green, orange, and yellow? Well, I believe if it is original, that they are basically going to do whatever they feel like doing and what they think would work. If they're working with their own colors and stuff, man, who knows? Maybe they could have another Purple Ranger, an Orange Ranger. They could do a few things. We've technically never had a bronze one before. Do they get that bronze suit for Void Knight? That's kind of fun, right? Things to talk about. And the toy, it could sell really easy because they already have the Void Knight mold. You just have to bronze it up a little bit. Interesting. Lord Furbus said they haven't really announced that they're cutting off from the Sentai, so they'll likely just be bringing in Q Ranger, but only the soups and props. So original Megazord footage would be cool. Dude, I have no idea what's going on. We already know, like, if we are getting a giant team up, that's going to be something more original. So, like, it's not like we're adapting a Sentai season where, like, oh, Mega Force or this or that, where we kind of have to keep it on script to what they're doing. If they're doing an original, they could bring back whoever they want and kind of have a really cool storyline. So if they're doing that, I don't know if you need the Q Ranger suits. Do they? I mean, when both of the Rangers said something new, I don't know if you're adapting the suits. It's something to really talk about and think about. Daniel said, I have a Power Rangers Cosmic Fury theory. And it is that when Dino Fury, when we know Amelia's parents are Tarek and Void Knight, they free Void Queen and turn her back into Santara. Okay. Hey, I could work with that. He also says Tarek and Santara are from Zordon's planet of Eltar, and Amelia is a descendant of Zordon. Whoa! That would be crazy if Amelia was a descendant of Zordon. What a good idea. The MMPR ninja suits came from the movie. This new season could be awesome. Oh yeah, the movie, and they had them in the show too, though. I think they did. They're probably the same suits, I think, right? Yeah, they both were used in the movie and the show. I believe season 3 had a lot of the ninja action in there because they had a lot less Sentai footage or no Sentai footage at this point. I think that was when Power Rangers at that time was pretty much original. If you ask me, maybe there were some scenes, Megazord scenes, something that was taken from the Sentai. But at one point, I think they ran out of suit footage. That's why we had a bunch of scenes in the ninja costumes. So just something to think about. Liana said, seems to me like they'll most likely adapt the suits and props from Super Sentai, but will no longer be using footage from these shows. Hey, that could definitely happen. That's one possibility. I also think that they really could go all original and pick the suits that they want to pick. Some of the Q Ranger suits will work. I mean, I think any of the suits would work. It's probably the Kira Major suits, and the Rangers fit the colors. What do you guys think, though? I guess a couple do, a couple don't. I'd have to look at the colors again, but we're getting close. I know silver and gold. Is there a yellow in there? So I guess we would have to look at those colors. Things might change, actually. I'm sorry, guys. A Man of the USA Jones says, it sounds like it could be half of the Q Ranger team. Yeah, I mean, it really could. It could be Kira Major, but I don't know. Something's telling me that this is going to be something different. DJ Neve said they're still disappointed that they've skipped a lot of the past seasons, and they're never going to adapt Lou Pat. Yeah. I don't know what we do, Juoger. The train season, that's tough, man. I know a couple years ago, Simon Bennett was kind of talking about like why you can't adapt certain seasons. He talked about Lou Pat's kind of about cops, and cops are kind of a polarizing subject. And within the last couple years, then you got Q Ranger just has too many suits. So if you use that, you'd have to cut down some of the suits. Juoger isn't horrible, but it's like a wild theme. Do they do that? And the train season is just the train season. I think when Power Rangers toy sales started to go down, it was Lightspeed Rescue. They started to show that little dip. Things started to go a little bit downhill once that happened because kids weren't buying the Megazords and the trains like they were the Dinozords and even the Zeo Megazords. There was something about the trains that kids, if they wanted a train, they would just buy a train. And so I don't know, guys. It's weird how it is out here. And dude, I like trains. I think trains are cool. I would love a train season, but it's something about the trains that ever since Lightspeed Rescue, they have stayed the far F away from trains. That's pretty much the way it is, even though it would be cool to see a train season like Lightspeed Rescue 2. I'm not against it. I just know that probably won't happen, if ever, because it's dang trains. But hey, anything could be made good if you put the work in, baby. Kendrick said, my idea that Dino Fury will end similar to Turbo, but actually good, and Cosmic Fury will be in space. That would make sense considering the spoilers for Dino Fury in space was supposed to be last season. But why don't they call it Cosmic Warriors or Cosmic Knights? Ooh, hey, that's kind of cool. Cosmic Knights. I don't know, maybe they're staying away from the whole knight thing. I like Cosmic Fury. It grew on me. It makes sense. It still has that Dino Fury vibe, though, and that makes sense because it's the Dino Fury cast for the 3rd season. I think it's pretty cool, man. What do you guys think? A lot of fans are like, bring it on. I can't wait. Give me your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Shout out to our Gold Ranger member, Willie Maloney. Sign up to become a member today. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this content, you know what to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. You can also become a member. Please join the fan club support team right now. We have a Blue Ranger power-up and a Gold Ranger power-up. This is an awesome way to talk with the fans. Join a fan club official chat group. You can also be featured in our videos. At the end of the videos, I will shout you out. That's if you get the Gold Ranger Power-Up membership. Go check it out. Go support the fan club. We love you guys, and thanks for watching. Peace.